Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Get Real Estate with Liz and Marie. I'm Liz.
And I'm Marie.
And how are you doing today, Marie?
I am doing excellent. I'm just happy to be alive. Let's just put it that way.
Yes, yes, very true. I mean, we should always be happy to be alive, but healthy, happy, and good medicine out there and stuff, right?
Yes.
So
So,
it's good. Yeah, you're back here in reality. You're 2 weeks home from, well, 1 week home from your little trip.
yes.
Supposed to have some inclement weather here in the next 24 to 48 hours. It's going
I
to get,
know we're going to get a little chilly here. A little chilly. That's not bad. That's not bad.
and some rain though. Ugh, I could do without the rain, but
Um,
it's all good. So
yeah.
yeah, so okay, I was looking at your numbers and what did we talk about? What happened just over a week ago? The Super Bowl. What's changing now? Exactly what we kept saying.
Yes. As right after the Super Bowl, that's it. People start listing their housings for sale out here. So, we've gone up in the number of listings this week. And actually, let me move my stuff over so I can look at the camera. Here we go. Okay. So we are at 4,586 listings, which still sounds like nothing, but we've gone up 46 listings from last week. So that is good. I think, over the next several weeks, we will just continue to see that number rise, hopefully. The median list price has stayed so consistent. It's crazy. $499 across the valley. Obviously, there's been some fluctuations in different cities. We've talked about Scottsdale a lot in the last few weeks because it went from a $900,000 median list price to 1.5. I mean, it's currently sitting at 1.46. But Chandler saw a little bit of a spike this past week. So Chandler increased to an even 600,000 median list price, which is up 39,000 in just 1 week.
Yeah. So had something big sell out there too, huh? A couple things.
Something must have happened. I mean, they also got a few more listings in Chandler. And so that's kind of interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. They saw a spike in the pricing, but they've also come down on days on market. So Chandler just dropped like 12 days on market. If we saw what it was last month, it was like 40, and now it's at 29. So it's an interesting big drop in 1 week. But Tempe also went up 11 days average. So again, after the Super Bowl, a lot of this should start leveling out as far as days on market. Properties are going to start moving faster. I think more listings will become available as we get into the nicer weather here. So we'll see what happens over the next few months and weeks.
I love that we do this every week because there's not a week that goes by that I do not talk to somebody about the listings, about what's happening. And the fact that I can rattle it off and I'm like, oh no, trust me, there's only 4,500 houses. Back in November, there were 7,600. This is happening. This is where, and it's just making me appreciate what we do and make me appreciate what is happening right now in the market because we really kind of understand it because we watch it every week.
Yes, it definitely has changed like my mentality on just what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking about and what's going on in the overall market because we're being consistent on looking up these numbers every week. And so again, just so everyone knows, this is straight from the Arizona MLS. So, obviously there's going to be rentals that are out there that are listed, or for sale by owners or other things that we're not looking at in these numbers. This is just strictly MLS data. But it also makes it consistent and easy for us to track each week.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If you're doing it from the same source every week, then we're not, fluctuating our numbers comparatively speaking and not relying on somebody else to give us the numbers that could be different.
Right. Or, we had somebody who was giving us numbers, but then they wouldn't tell us the source of the numbers. And so I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But
I love it.
It's great. I mean, the number of active rentals did decrease a little bit, about 45 across the county. So we're down to 3,756 active rentals across the county. But again, even the pricing on rentals, I mean, that median rent has been either 3,000 or 2,999 or 2,995 for the past 6 months that we've been looking at it. So
Yeah.
rentals have remained steady according to the MLS, although we also know based on people that are looking for rentals that they're saying they're harder and harder to find.
Yeah.
So yes, it's an interesting market right now. And hopefully, like we said, with the Super Bowl happening and being done, and people, outside of the holidays now, they start wanting to list their house
Yeah.
and start making the move.
Well,
So
yeah, that's exactly. So I'm not going to be alarmed at all with those numbers going up. It's kind of going to be a good thing, because for the number that is going up to be sold is the number of people still trying to buy. And then the number of people moving here, from out of state alone, trying to find these houses. So it's actually going to be a good thing, but it'll be very interesting.
Yeah. And supply and demand, we definitely need some more supply. So
I'm shocked. I was out, I've driven on both sides of the 101 in this past couple days, and the amount of buildings and apartment buildings going up is amazing, is astronomical. All this building. I forget where I was. Oh, I was down on the South 101, and I could see these 6 or 7, 8 just cement or cinder block towers. And I was thinking, what in the heck is that?
yeah.
And then I realized those are the elevator and the stair shafts for these buildings that they're doing. Is just on the north side of the 101 down around Scottsdale Road. And it was the weirdest looking thing. And then I realized, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's more even going up. So
it is interesting when you see how they build those high rises and how those elevator and stair shafts are always put in first. So there's like this little tiny, like, what is that?
Yeah.
And then when you come back, oh, they built the whole building around.
Yeah, especially as you being an engineer, you totally know. But I was like, that looks weird. And then I realized what it was.
It's so cool to see the construction, and hopefully there's a lot more going on, because we need housing here. So
I know, and I say that, but guess what? That's happening to us as rehabbers. For some of our resources and our laborers and our other things are going priority to the big guys.
Exactly.
So that'll be interesting.
So
okay, so I found an article, and this sounds scary, but it's not. I mean, as you and I said, so it says the U.S. foreclosure activity at highest since pandemic in January of this 2022. But what's happening is we're starting to move away from the pandemic, the moratoriums, and these other situations. And the thing is, this is what was so interesting to me. Some of these foreclosures are going back to pre-pandemic. Like, you had 2 years, and I'm not saying that they couldn't get it situated and figured out. But the housing market is so good now. Would it be a good idea to maybe sell your house instead of foreclose on it or something? But they're going all the way back 2 years and continuing now with these pandemics, because they did get put on hold. So it looks like in January 2022, it went up 139% from the same time a year ago, but that's because they weren't foreclosing back then.
Right.
And so that seems like a scary number, but when they say that only 23,000 U.S. properties with foreclosure filings in January, we're talking about the entire country. Right. 23,000 is still a pretty that's a pretty low number, I would think. But I'm saying, with that, why can't you sell it to me, to investor, to you, to, out on the market or something, It's just,
it's so true. I mean, you bring up such a good point. With the market as it is, especially here in Arizona, if you are getting letters and you are going to be foreclosed on, this is not the time to put your head in the sand and just hope it will all work itself out. This is a time, go sell your property. The market is booming. It should be worth more than you paid for it, even if you bought it back in 2006 and you were at the height of the market back then. Guess what? We're finally above those prices, right? So don't go through that process, and don't just bury your head in the sand.
Yeah, bury your head in the sand, or think I'm sticking it to the man because then he has to do all this stuff. They're going to win in the end, whereas you could probably walk away with money in your pocket right now.
right? And avoid the process, avoid the credit hit, avoid all that other stuff. So, yeah, I think it's a great point that you bring up. You know, our market is so good. Like, just reach out to Liz and Marie,
Yeah.
reach out to a real estate agent, reach out to someone. If you don't want to sell to an investor, that's fine. But definitely,
But as investors, let's think about that. We might be able to put even more money in their pocket because we don't
yeah,
take commissions. We pay the
yes,
closing costs. We let you leave your house in the condition that it's in.
right.
So,
There are definitely advantages to working with investors. But I'm just, you know, again, don't want you to think I'm just trying to get you to sell your house to me. Just don't lose your house and go into foreclosure if you can avoid it,
yeah,
people.
exactly.
You
It
know?
may help you in the long run.
Yeah.
It's so much better. So we're just going to keep an eye on that. You know, it's a great strategy for people in the investment world, but I just think there's not a lot of opportunity in it right now. So, you know.
Well, and I like this. It's showing that there are 800 to 900,000 borrowers still in forbearance. So they will have to either figure out a way to refinance or they're going to be foreclosed on.
Well, and it says there that Consumer Financial Protection Agency is also keeping an eye on that so that the mortgages industry isn't coming back after people. But I can tell you in those situations, I don't want to say, I know the majority of mortgage companies are reaching out to people and helping them. You have to work with them. You have to answer them. You have to look at the options because a lot of times they'll take that forbearance amount and throw it on the back end of your loan and let you not worry about it right now. But if you don't tell them that and you don't tell them what you want to do, that's where these foreclosures are going to start coming. Like they'll give you options. So you got to talk to them.
Yeah.
And it'll be
It's true.
surprising.
Again, don't bury your head in the sand. Pick up the phone or make the call yourself and get yourself out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
Or check us out at lizandmarie.com/save now and we can help you. All right. So what's this next article about?
Okay, so the next article is interesting. You know, I used to work many moons ago down in the city for the city of Tempe. So I was in, downtown Tempe, where I worked. And the Hayden flour mills have always been a staple, a signature, what people have seen down there. But they haven't been in production. I don't even know how long. But fortunately, they just never took them down, which I think is a good thing. People have come in and talked about rehabbing them. And now there's another opportunity on the table for a couple companies that are merging to, come up with an idea to utilize the mills. And I think it's cool. Stores, restaurants, some workspaces. It would just be a cool thing because they are just sitting there vacant.
Right.
But I know there's some expense to get them converted into, what could be functional. But I just think it's cool. And I know where they are. They're right down there and,
Yeah. I mean, Mill Ave and Rio Salado Parkway. So it's right there. It's in the heart of Tempe. I think it would be awesome if they could turn that structure into something cool without just, demoing it and taking away that view.
Yeah, exactly. So it would be cool. It's going to have indoor, outdoor experience, things they want it family friendly oriented too, not where it's just nightclubs or something that, wouldn't be enjoyed by everybody. And that is literally right there where ASU is. It's right there where the stadium is. There's always activity going on down there. And so it's not a place that you would want to think, well, will this benefit the community and this downtown area? It totally will.
Yeah, no, that would be really, really cool if they can get all the permits and get approved for that redevelopment. I think.
Well, and you know what's interesting? You just said the permits. These two companies, it's like private and public sectors coming together because the city of Tempe wants them to do it too. So the city of Tempe is a partner with these venture capital that are coming in. So that's kind of cool. Instead of them going to the city and saying, this is what we want to do, they have the city on board with them being part of the, the regentrification of it, I guess.
Right. And just the process of making that decision. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Makes it good. Just makes it a little bit easier.
Yes.
So
All right.
it's
What
kind of
is
sad.
going on with spring training, Liz?
I know we're still on hold. They are in talks, and they're all sitting there with their bags packed because if it gets settled, it's not like, okay, report in a week. It's like report in 24 hours.
Right.
So we
So
can't
there's
give up
still
hope.
negotiations happening. Hopefully we will see some live spring training games this month. Seriously, they're usually supposed to be starting right now.
Yeah, they would. I think they start on the 25th. Would be normally the first game. I forget what I read. It's on the article if you get in there. But yeah, because pitchers and catchers would have reported last week. So
yeah, so I just put the note up there. Are you going to miss out if we don't have spring training? Leave us a comment. Let us know. I know I'll be sad because it's a highlight of something that we do as a family every year.
Well, yeah, because it's your husband's, what he played too.
Oh, yeah. He loves
and still does. Does he still play?
His last game was about a year ago.
Okay.
We'll see if he decides to throw on some cleats again. But I mean, we're a baseball family. We love it. It's our definitely our game of choice. So
yeah, that's cool. Okay, then the feel good story this week is about a Valley teen who I just think this is great. She wanted to help out. She wanted to make some money. She wanted to she didn't want to make some money. She wanted to get some money and then do something with it. Yep. And so she collects pet food for seniors for their pets. And she gets grants. She has a 501c3 company. She gets donations from people. And the cutest thing, it's called Grandpa's Pantry. It kills me.
It is such a cute name, Grandpa's Pantry.
I know. And so they're bags for a senior companion pet care program so that they're on tight budgets. And same with everything else, pet food goes up. Pet food can be expensive. But they should not be able to have a pet because now it's their companion, it's their friend.
It really is. I know. That's the craziest thing is like, you have to realize, seniors can get lonely. Like this is definitely not just, oh, they have a pet, right? Like a pet hamster they look at, like to have a cat or a dog and, just that companionship, I think is so important for them. So this is such a cool idea and such a cool concept. I'm so happy. I mean, she's 15 years old.
I know, so many opportunities. And it says she did over 1,000 packages to vulnerable seniors last year to make sure that their pets were fed and taken care of. So
that's awesome. Okay, so can we say her name? Is it Sonia Colator?
Yeah, Colator. Yeah, that sounds about right. Cola and then Tour. Sonia Colator. She's a sophomore at Xavier High School. And we're very proud of you.
Good job, girl.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we still have some exciting things going on around the Valley too. So we have a link here in our blog that will show you, the dates for all the different events. Arizona Renaissance Festival is going on. Something that's not in this article, it's not that big of a deal, but my neighbor did just tell me about it, Liz, and I had to actually send it to my mom. But there's an Italian festival going on in Heritage Square, downtown Phoenix, February 26th and 27th for anyone interested.
That's awesome. I should have known about that because when my son was involved with the sister cities, one of the sister cities is one of the Italy cities. And so they do a lot with that organization, with the, down there. So that's cool.
Yeah. So I sent the info to my mom. So we're definitely going to check that out over the next upcoming weekend. And then, yes, hopefully spring training actually takes place. It's supposed to start February 26th here. NASCAR is coming up in March. I know my neighbor will definitely be there.
Yeah. I got invited to Country Thunder if I want to go there in April. So we'll see how that plays out.
Nice. So definitely some interesting stuff still coming up here in the Valley. And as the weather, we're going to have these couple days of bad weather, but I mean, other than that, this is the time that you want to really enjoy typically the weather in Arizona. So
I know. And I wanted to take off my scarf because look at my daughter got me. She got me peace and love. So
love it. Peace and love. That's your thing. So now you have it on your arm,
Yep.
sleeve, and
on there and on my shirt. So everybody just needs peace and love, and then we're good. Maybe
it's so true.
Come to these other countries. So all right. Well, that's a wrap for this week then. So let us know what you liked. Just check us out anytime at lizandmarie.com/save now. We're here to help you. Don't get foreclosed on either. Don't freak out about forbearances. It's all good.
Yes. Take steps and let us help you. All right. So until next week, peace and love.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.